The Bank of Japan isn't alone in its economic optimism. The European Central Bank also lifted its growth forecast for the euro area. Vidak Radonjic, founder and CEO of Beryl Consulting Group, joins us now from New York. Is that optimism valid, would you say?
Well, we had quite a struggle between European Central Bank as well as the Federal Reserve Bank. Federal Reserve Bank is actually leading the long bond to very high levels, comparatively speaking, from 1.6% back in May, early May, to 3%, which was it touched upon today. So obviously ECB is very nervous about that, and as a result, they might have to do some other stuff other than trying to do I would call a very traditional monetary policy. They might do outright monetary transactions, which they introduced in September, in order to try to do something about this I would call unprecedented spike in 10-year.
So is everyone looking at following the United States when it comes to interest rates?
Absolutely. I mean, it was the United States who came up with these unconventional methods of QE1, QE2, and QE3. So obviously, it is the United States that is leading the world in the bond market as well. So bond vigilantes have finally awoken from a deep sleep and hibernation, and they are now giving problems to Mr. Bernanke.
But the ECB outlook is still very conservative. What's behind that?
ECB outlook is conservative. Well, the reason is obviously the unemployment is so high in countries like Spain and Italy. So they have to be conservative with regard to that, because if they're going to do something with the rates, it will choke unemployment even further. So also the bank lending has not been very good as it is United States in Europe. So Europe has lots of problems ahead. However, we also have to keep in mind that unconventional monetary policy can create bubbles in the credit market, in the stock market, in the commodity market, etc. So all these central bankers are really having a very difficult time nowadays to figure out what to do next.
Right. So what kind of an impact would this have, or does it have, on consumers and small businesses, for that matter?
Well, the reason that we've been having a very low rates, 0.5 in England and 0.5 in Europe, and a little bit about 1% here in the United States, is because the banks are trying to help economies to grow. However, the politicians should do something about structural reforms as well, because leaving everything at the hands of central bankers is not a very prudent policy. So I think we've been wasting lots of time, the politicians have been wasting lots of time to try to do something about the economies, to reintroduce some new measures. Just relying on monetary policy is not a very prudent idea.
Well, you mentioned structural reform, and for that, the economists would have to be looking at the politicians. But what else would the ECB be looking for to make it feel more secure?
Well, ECB would obviously have to, ECB is looking at lots of myriad variety of things. For example, today, London, the UK Bank of England have to go to G20. They shortened the stay, and it's been very difficult to curtail all the efforts that they've been facing.
Okay, so we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.